All right, well, good morning, everyone, and welcome to the graduation of probation and parole. At this time, of course, we'd like to begin all graduation by standing for the Pledge of Allegiance. So will you please stand and recite the pledge? I pledge of allegiance. All right, please be seated. Okay, well, good morning. Again, what a wonderful day to be gathered virtually to celebrate the graduation of Basic Probation Parole Class 505-21. My name is Ron Whitmore, Superintendent of the Tennessee Correction Academy. And on behalf of Commissioner Tony Parker, Assistant Commissioner Lisa Helton, Assistant Commissioner Barbara Strotter, I would like to welcome all who are watching via Zoom to this graduation ceremony. I would like to take this time to thank the graduates for their hard work during this different way of how we are conducting training outside the academy. To the graduates, I say, remember, life is a journey, not a destination. Receiving your certificates today does not signal the end, but rather the beginning of a successful journey. It's what you do after graduation that will determine your success in life. Through this journey, you can plan for the future. You cannot precisely predict it. So go ahead with the best you have to offer, and you will be completely able to deal with whatever may come your way. Each day has no guarantees, but it is a day for incredible opportunity. So step confidently forward with a smile on your face when you receive your certificates, and go with it and do great things for our department. My final charge is the same for each class. Be ethical in your future work, lead a life of meaning and impact, and be willing to make a difference. Don't ever settle for the status quo for anything. Be the agent of change. You will hear our commissioner mention a lot. At this time, I'd like to transition to introduce and read the bio of our guest speaker, District Director Monica Kennedy. Director Kennedy began her probation and parole career in 2007 and has served as a probation officer and probation manager during her tenure, gaining a wide array of experience in the supervision of probationers and parolees. In addition to regular probation parole supervision, she has supervised specialty areas such as Interstate Compact Unit and served on work groups, including a group tasked with updating the standards of supervision. She completed her undergraduate degree in criminal justice at Tennessee State University and her graduate degree in public administration from Strayer University. She has been actively engaged in agency professional development opportunities through her participation in both the Sergeant's Academy and the Commissioner's Leadership Academy. Director Kennedy has a leadership philosophy grounded in accountability, professional development, and team building, and is excited about the future of the Tennessee Department of Correction. I will now turn it over to Director Kennedy.
First, I would like to thank Commissioner Parker, AC Helton, and Superintendent Whitmore for giving me the opportunity to speak with you today, as well as thanking your families because I know this was a big commitment for everyone. You know, I often wondered what advice I wanted to receive when I graduated from the BPOT Academy. And the first piece of advice that I would give would just be to breathe and be happy in the fact that you made it through the initial training portion to become a probation parole officer. Because unfortunately, everyone doesn't make it, but you guys did, and I commend you for that. I also want to say that it's okay not to know everything and that you're not expected to know everything. Even though you've graduated from the academy, you're still going to be learning. I know I've been with the department for over 14 years, and I can honestly say that I learn something new every day, or almost every day. So the learning portion of your career never stops, which is a good thing. I would also say that it's okay to ask questions because you're not going to learn if you don't ask. Now, the key is going to a credible source to get your answers. And being that you're new, I would suggest that you go to your supervisor, your field training officer for assistance, and definitely read policy, which is the greatest resource, because in reading policy, you will know exactly what you need to do in different situations. But if you go to your supervisor and they don't know the answer, they will know where to go to get the correct answer. When I was a new probation officer, I would go to my supervisor with a question, and the first thing that she would ask would be, well, what does policy say? And then I realized that she wasn't doing it because she didn't want to answer the question. That wasn't it at all. But she said it so that I can realize how valuable policy was. And I would begin to comfortably refer to it for clarifications and guidance on how to properly do my job. Also, remember that even if a person can't see you physically, they can see your work, meaning they can see your contact notes and TOMAS, they can see your probation and parole violation and warrant reports, as well as email correspondence and telephone conversations. So you want to make sure that your work is a direct reflection of who you are as a probation parole officer, because a lot of the time, that's the only thing people will have to go by. And you want them to judge you on the way that you are. Sometimes you have to put yourself in the position of those who are on probation and parole supervision to understand the issues that they face on a daily basis. Not saying that don't do your job when you're required to if an offender is not compliant. By all means, do what you need to do. But understand the things that the offender may be facing on a daily basis, such as not having a stable residence, dealing with substance abuse, not having employment or source of income, or even being hungry. And if you can, assist them with those obstacles, because you may know of resources that they don't necessarily know, they may not be aware of. And we all want those on probation and parole to complete it successfully. Now, I know over the past year, we had to face a deadly pandemic, which has impacted the entire world, including your home life, the offender's home life, and this department. And I don't say that as an excuse, but for a reason why we've had to adjust to the way that we do things within the department by finding efficient and effective ways of continuing our mission of operating safe and secure prisons and providing effective community supervision in order to enhance public safety. So just know that even though you're not physically seeing your supervisor or offenders or interacting with your coworkers on a daily basis, that our mission remains the same. Now, as a department, we have incorporated things such as Microsoft Teams, WebEx, FaceTime, Duochrome, and as always, the good old-fashioned telephone as a means of continuing our mission and communication piece within the department. And please remember that this is only the beginning of your journey as a probation and parole officer. And your career will take you as far as you're willing to go and as hard as you're willing to work. I wish you all the best on your journey here at TDOC. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you, Director Kennedy. Thank you for those inspiring words. And you're spot on. Working within policy is the tool that will always cover you. We will move forward at this time and issue the graduation certificates, followed by Assistant Commissioner Hilton with her remarks and reading of the oaths. Okay, we will begin in the East region, which is District 10, 20, and 30. Okay, the first person that we have would be Lindsay DeLorge. I'm sorry, Lindsay DeLorge. Thank you. We have Houston Philander. Thank you. Adam Hathcock. Thank you. Kevin House. Thank you. Graham Rush. Thank you. And Stephanie Smith. Thank you. Okay, moving to the Nashville region, District 40, 41, and 41 PSU. We have Ashlyn Chaffins. Thank you. Jessica Gordon. Francis Zasinski. Thank you. Julie Jenkins. Kimberly Jones. Thank you. Jacob Klotz. Thank you. And Deja Mays. Thank you. Okay, Murfreesboro region, which consists of District 50 and 51. We have Kiana Allen. Thank you. Rachel Barber. Thank you. Janita Burks. Thank you. Kelsey Foster. Thank you. Frederica Gildersleeve. Thank you. Leanna St. Laurent. Thank you. Okay, and moving to the Memphis region, which is District 70 and 71. We have Arkesia Baker. Okay, thank you. Herbert Brown. Thank you. Alicia Garcia. Thank you. Audrey Arbezum. Thank you. All right, and those are all the graduates for this particular class. So at this time, I would like to turn it over to Assistant Commissioner Hilton to address the class and reading the oaths.
Thank you, Superintendent. Good morning, everyone. First of all, I'd like to say that I appreciate your time and your commitment over the last few weeks in going through this training. I know that, as Director Kennedy mentioned, it is a sacrifice for families and for you to take this time and make this kind of commitment. Obviously, it's important. The job that you are getting ready to assume responsibility for is one that is critical. It directly impacts public safety. And equally important, it is a job in which you have responsibility for both monitoring and assisting other human beings. And that is a huge responsibility. It's an honor, but it does take the skills and the knowledge and the information that comes from training. When you leave here today, you will continue your training with the FTO program, and that is equally important. That will be sort of boots on the ground, hands-on training. I echo Director Kennedy's comments about policy and the importance of policy. Following policy gives you the guidance and the instruction that you need, and it also protects you. And so I can't stress that enough, that you should read your policy, you should follow your policy. If you have questions about that, seek guidance from your managers and your district directors. Additionally, I appreciated Director Kennedy's comments about professionalism in all of your work. I think that's critical. You're very public presence in the community. Obviously, you're in uniform, you're identified as a TDOC probation and parole officer, and people look to you for guidance and for even modeling about what is appropriate behavior. So your interactions with offenders, as Director Kennedy mentioned, your documentation in TOMAS, both your verbal, your nonverbal communication, every piece of that is very important, and I urge you to be cognizant of that. We are about to, once again, for me, take the oath, and for you, take your first oaths of office. And as you speak these words, please take them into your minds and hearts. And as you go forward, honor the oath. As Superintendent Whitmore said, it is important to have an ethical approach to work. It's important to have integrity in your work. And the oath reminds you of that responsibility, your responsibility as a public servant and as someone who is in a public office. So please keep that in mind. And as you go forward, keep the oaths that you have taken, both as a TDOC employee and as a probation parole officer, in mind, and let it inform all of your actions. With that, I will have everyone stand. Will all of the cadets please stand? Okay. You'll raise your right hand and you'll repeat after me. At the end of the oath, when I ask you to respond, please say, "I do." Okay, raise your right hand. Repeat after me. I do solemnly swear that I will fully, faithfully, impartially, and diligently perform all the duties required of me as an employee of the Department of Correction, that I will execute the laws and regulations prescribed for the government of said agency, district, or institution, so far as concerns my office. That I will accept no bribe or other compensation during my continuance in office, other than such compensation as is allowed by law. And that I will on no occasion ill treat or abuse any offender under my care or supervision beyond the punishment ordered by law or the rules and regulations of the Tennessee Department of Correction. Please respond, "I do."
I do.
Okay, thank you. Now we'll take the oath of office for as a probation and parole officer. I will say "I" and then pause, and you say "I" and fill in your name, state your name, and then we'll proceed. Right hand, please. I
Grant Rush,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that as a probation and parole officer
that as a probation and parole officer
of the Department of Correction
of the Department of Correction
for the state of Tennessee.
for the state of Tennessee.
I will support the Constitution
I will support the Constitution
of the state of Tennessee
of the state of Tennessee
and the Constitution of the United States,
and the Constitution of the United States.
and that I will perform
And that I will perform
with fidelity
with fidelity
and faithfully execute the duties
and faithfully execute the duties
of the office
of the office
to which I have been appointed
to which I have been appointed,
and which I am about to assume.
and which I am about to assume.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations, officers. Welcome to TDOC Community Supervision. I look forward to meeting you when I'm out in the field. So I'm going to give you a hand, even though it's a virtual hand, and I will then turn it over to Superintendent Whitmore.
Thank you. Thank you, AC. As we close, I would like to thank the class and wish you the best as a TDOC employee. I would like to thank the community supervision leadership, especially the district directors, for allowing us to use their space to conduct training outside of the academy. I tip my hat to all the instructors at TCA who assisted in training for this particular class, as well as the district director, Denise Demo Egbert, as well as training director, Denise Demo Egbert, and training director, Kenyana Parker, for assisting with the completion of this class. I also would like to give thanks to my boss, Jennifer Board, for being supportive of TCA as well. Director Kennedy, thank you for your inspiring words. Assist AC, thank you again for a great graduation and your words as well. So this concludes our graduation at this time. So I will like to ask the graduation class to please stand. Class 505-21, you are dismissed.
One nation, one message, one message, one team.
All right, that works for me. Congratulations to you all. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you.
Welcome to
That's right.